Welcome back from that short break. With us, we have a few guests here who are going to introduce themselves.
I'm Olivia from St. Joseph High School, Namagung.
I'm Keza Jordana from Maryhill High School, Mbarara.
And Kalanzi Charles Trevor from St. Mary's, Chisube.
Earlier on, I had told you that we were going to talk about teenage pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy is really affecting young teenagers around the country and worldwide. So, Keza, could you please tell us more about teenage pregnancy?
In my opinion, teenage pregnancy is when a girl below the age of 18 gets pregnant. In the statement, it's self-explanatory, teenage pregnancy.
Trevor, could you also give us your opinion on teenage pregnancy?
Okay, like she said, it's self-explanatory. A teenager, first of all, is someone between the ages of 13 and 19. But according to our laws that constricting us, it's an adult. The adult age begins from 18 and onwards. So I'd like to term this more as young pregnancy, whereby a young person is someone below the age of 24 years. That means 23 and below. So when someone of that age a girl child of that age becomes pregnant, I think I term it as such a pregnancy.
So, Olivia, could you please explain to us, tell us more about, tell us what makes that girl think about going to have sex with a man at such a young age? What makes a girl think about that?
I think the main issue here is media, because most of us here are exposed to the media, whereby you're going to watch pornography and you'll be like, these guys are doing it and they're getting no effects, so why shouldn't I try it? So, and you don't know the outcomes, and you'll be encouraged to practice it.
Okay, is there any more factors?
Well, I'd like to add more to Olivia's point. Most of us here are on TikTok. On TikTok, you may see this woman, she's married at a young age, probably 17. She has her kids. But one fun fact about the internet is they never show the bad side. They always show the good side. They do not want to expose the negative factor of what they have just done. Most of them suffer mentally, but they don't show it. Just like when you're taking a photo, you're not going to take a photo in a bad area. You're going to look for a good spot where there is lighting, the perfect angle, and expose only the good side. So that's why you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet.
Trevor, do you have any points to add to this?
All right. On the boys' side of it, what would push a guy into making a girl pregnant? The major thing that drives a guy to a girl is her bodily features, and if you do not have that self-control and mind of actually having respect for yourself and others, then you're going to go and make her pregnant. Now that's something that's we've been finding a very huge issue with. And two, that another thing that would lead to making you guys pregnant, sometimes you guys throw yourselves at us. We become the victims, and you're going to be that one guy who likes a certain girl. Now that certain girl, you won't tell her that you like her, but that certain girl is going to come and she's going to be like, man, I like you or something. And then would you like to share a bed with me? And yeah, eventually you're going to spend the night with her, and over time you're going to drive us to a point where we can't fight our temptation. So yeah, I think that's another thing.
So, could you please tell us, Olivia, as a young child, if you found yourself in such a situation, you are pregnant, what would you do?
The first thing I will do is talk to my parents and get support from them, because that's the only solution there.
Haven't you heard about other solutions like aborting? Would you advise someone to abort?
No, aborting is not a solution. Aborting is like committing murder. And among the 10 commandments, they tell us not to commit murder. When you abort, you're removing this kid, and whereby this kid is going to die. So that's it. Aborting is not a solution.
Okay. Trevor, in a boy's view, what would you do if you are in such a situation that you've impregnated a girl? What would you do?
All right. We have two groups of people we call family. That's our parents, and that's our friends. Our parents have been with us since we came to this world. Since before we even thought that we'd exist, they had plans for God had plans, and he carried them on through our parents, and we came to life. Our mothers have carried us since birth. They've nurtured us. They've been there to help us emotionally. Our fathers have been our mentors, our guides, our caretakers, the breadwinners of the house. So those two we have to make a very strong connection with them, up to a point whereby you can tell them anything whatsoever, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, out of the blue. You must find a way of confiding in them. Then others, our friends, these are people that have seen our other side, that have been with us through our highs and our lows where our parents haven't. So I'd find a way of confiding in them for a peace of mind, for advice, for a way forward. And I'd ask God for help. I'd ask God for help through prayer.
Trevor, if I may ask, what if my parents can't listen to me? And they are really, really tough.
And they chase you away from home. What would happen?
One thing we should learn to do is take responsibility for our actions. So if I have made you pregnant, then I have to take care of you, make sure you're fed, you're clothed. I'm practically a father at this point, right? So I'd have to find a job, feed both of you, and find a way of helping you carry on with your lives as if it were a normal one.
Okay. Because imagine your friend came to you and they are pregnant and they really don't know what to do. How would you advise them?
Firstly, since they're still in the state of shock, I'd be that supporting friend, give them the support they need so that they calm their senses. Then I'd give them the first advice, which would be not to abort the baby, since that's the option most teenage mothers go through. They go for abortion because they think they can't handle all that's going to come with being pregnant. So I'd advise her not to get an abortion, and also to seek the church, because God has plans for everyone and he can help in such times of trouble.
And you, Alexis?
If I was in such a situation, if my friend was in such a situation, firstly, we would need to sit down and first think together, because a solution may work for me, but it may not work for her. So we have to really figure it out together. And obviously, I would support her in whatever decision she made. But obviously, if it's not good, like if she wanted to abort, I'll try and discourage her from it. And if she isn't if she doesn't listen and wants to still abort that child, it's her decision. So if you want to advise someone in such a situation, you have to hear where they're coming from and really help them in what works for them. So what solutions would you give to someone in such a situation, whether a boy, whether a girl? What solution would you give them?
The solution, I think you should talk to your parents. and get support from them. Yeah.
But not all our parents are really. You can't give me the same advice someone. So, cause if I get pregnant, I'm not sure my parents will be either happy, they'll chase me away from home, or I really don't know how they would react. So, as a person whose parents wouldn't be happy with it, what should I do? Keza, maybe you can answer that.
Well, if I were that teen who got pregnant, I'd seek God first, pray, ask for guidance, and then sit my parents down and calm them down, and then give them the bad news, and hope that they will support me in what I do, what I did. Hope they will support me and guide me on how to move further.
Okay. Trevor, would you give us your opinion on this?
So, a solution to such is ask God for guidance whenever you can. Nurture yourself and discipline yourself in a way that you're going to be able to fight temptation. You're going to be able to know the difference between right and just, right? And if you have that in mind, then with God behind you, everything is possible. Keep a positive mindset. Fight against these temptations. Ask God for guidance, and yeah, it will be easy to avoid such.
With that, we've had small views from our few of our guests. Who we are going to have more guests who are going to tell us more about teenage pregnancy, more on the spiritual and church side of this.